All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I am Louis Vuitton. You're watching LVT Halo, and this is the HCS 4K series. We got a little bit of a caster switch. We got Why Not, and we got Active joining us. So Why Not, welcome to the broadcast. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling great, man. It's LVT, it's HCS, it's the 4K, the 16 best teams in North America going at it. I'm excited to be here, Louis.
Absolutely. And then Active, we got you on the other side. How you doing today?
I'm feeling fantastic. That best of 5 was incredible going to a game 5. I hope we see more of that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's turn our focus to what we got in front of us. We got OpTic Gaming versus Avengers. Guys, I'm going to leave it to you to kind of break this down as we get into this match. Players are ready to go. OpTic versus Avengers.
Yeah, you better know, I got my OpTic jersey underneath this shirt, but I have no Avengers merch. I mean, I got a Captain America shirt. I didn't know if that counted, but
that don't count.
Oh, my bad. OpTic, the #1 seed going up against Avengers, the #9 seed into this tournament here. This is pool play to find out who's going to make it into bracket play tomorrow and whether you make it through the winners or the losers. But on top of that, this 4K means a lot, Tim. You have, for example, Avengers, #9 seed team right now. Yeah. To my knowledge, only the top 10 from North America are going to get invited to DreamHack. It is invitational, so Avengers have to pop off because there's plenty of teams like Proton Gaming. There's plenty of other teams that are coming, like Complexity, that want to steal that top 10 spot. If I'm Avengers, I'm treating every series like a grand finals because one false move might end up getting you not enough points to make it to that DreamHack invitational.
And this is how upsets happen, right? This is early in pool play. We're talking about OpTic here. I understand the monster in front of us, but this is where you come to play. Your back's up against the wall. You're the Avengers. Like you said, top 10 are going to get invited. They're #9. They're on the cusp of that. This is where they have to perform. And honestly, you got to bring some major firepower here. You got to bring some momentum. Start that momentum train early on King of the Hill on Streets, and then kind of make that go forward into the rest of the series. Avengers, do they have a chance? Yes, but they've got to show some firepower very early here against an OpTic that might be sleeping.
Well, in case you've been sleeping under a rock, you guys at home, obviously OpTic Gaming made up of APG, Formal, Lucid, and Trippy. You have the MVP, you have a Controller Player of the Year nominee in Formal. You got plenty of talent, coordination, teamwork, multitasking. I feel like if you were gonna make a perfect Halo team, OpTic would probably be a good mold to use with the way that they approach the game. But Avengers, a little bit of a different team. You have Huss and Swish, both teammates formerly on that Team Meta roster. I believe it was Meta Elite they were going by. Then Neuronical and Precision, who've been that duo for quite some time. They've seen multiple iterations of this Avengers roster, and throughout the changes, throughout the crazy upsets, roster mania and all, Avengers have not only stuck together, but I feel like they're starting to put themselves in that upper echelon within their division. They're starting to really come out to be that top 6 contender, maybe even, crazy god run into top 4. I feel like Avengers are a legitimate top 8 team right now, and maybe a top 6 contender in our league.
Yeah, they've got that upset potential, just the firepower like I talked about on this squad. You talked about 2 duos coming together, of course, in Huss and Swish, and then Neuronical and Precision. I mean, these guys have played together for a while now. Now they're starting to bring the chemistry together, and the fact that they're sticking together tells me that they want to win. And of course, top 4 to me seems a little crazy. You did say it's a god run. I agree. It would take a lot. I mean, we've got some incredible rosters lining up on that top 4, but I mean, this is how upsets happen. We've seen upsets in our 2 decades of Halo. We've seen some major ones. This is how they happen right here, where a team, feels like they really need to play their absolute best game, bring that flow state into every single player and just come out with the victory. Maybe OpTic's sleeping on them. Maybe OpTic's looking at this as just another match in the pool play. And if that's the case, Avengers can take advantage of that.
Well, speaking of upsets, maybe we see one right now, because let me tell you, if I'm looking at a fight, I always root for the underdog. When I'm looking for a fight, I take it to the streets, especially of New Mombasa. Rockets in the middle, Stalker Rifle, Bulldog. Don't forget about the new Shroud screen. I hope you guys been practicing with that. That's some good ramen on that sign right there. I'm a little hungry, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love me some streets action. Tim, I hope you do too.
I do. Streets, one of those maps where we talk about it all the time. The power weapons so many of them to utilize here. Of course, the updates taking that down a little bit, right? You don't have as much ammo to work with in all the weapons. You've got to wait a little bit longer for them to come off on respawn, but still, the firepower on this map is going to be what they utilize to get these hills. And that very first hill, a very contested one on that B Street side. OpTic are going to have to come out strong, though. Like I said, you're going to start to see Avengers. They're hungry. OpTic, you know, 3-time champs. Avengers have a chance to make an upset happen right now.
You see Trippy prioritizing, making sure he gets that Bulldog he needed on the purple side, dropping the drop wall right as that purple, right as 2 members of Avengers go down. So Purple Street being manned, Bulldog ends up being snatched up. Trippy also able to get away with the rockets as well. OpTic Gaming dominating Avengers right off of the start, already starting off 4 down. Is this the end game?
Well, here's the problem, right? You come out as a team in Avengers and you go against a monster like OpTic, you gotta have that good start. And right now, the start is not what they wanted. OpTic have every single power weapon on the map. They've also got this hill over to 80% completed already. And as a team like Avengers, when you're already looking up to this roster because, you know, they're 3-time champs, they're the best in the world, they're #1 seed, a good start is exactly what you need. And unfortunately, they didn't get that. But the question is, can they recover?
Well, I mean, they started off a little slow. Now they have to avenge the situation. The Avengers coming back in the second half. That's exactly what they do best. They bounce back, get the kills they were looking for, put OpTic on their back foot, and immediately get a bit of time here. But OpTic still dominated. In fact, only a few seconds away from taking a hold of this hill. And Lucid coming out. What is that little CSGO type smoke? What are we seeing here, Tim?
Let me tell you, when the Shroud screen first came out, that was the first thing I thought about. Having a little bit of time in Valorant, of course, and of course Counter-Strike. That was the first thing I thought about, is using that Shroud screen as a one-way. Essentially, you're blocking the enemy's face, so they can't see where you are, but you can see their feet. So you have the advantage when they come into a fight, and you're going to start to see that utilized way more often. You can see these pro players, they put their work in, they put the time in, they switch the meta up, and that's exactly what Lucid did.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Tim. I'm gonna put that in my repertoire. That was nice right there. But what's even more nice, the fact that OpTic not only starting off 1-0, but having the early setup over towards that second hill. Nobody on Avengers able to contest with this. In fact, that was a perfect sweep right there. Not only going in from the arcade side hill, but right to the subway side. A 2-0 start for OpTic Gaming. But now I'm more worried about Avengers' mental right now. Hopefully they're not checked. Hopefully the mentals are not chalked. They know that, hey, lots of times teams go on incredible runs. A team that oftentimes will take 1 will end up taking 2 as well. They are still within the fight. They can bounce back. All they need to do is take it 1 kill at a time, 1 step at a time. And it looks like that's exactly what Avengers are doing.
We got a chance to talk to King J from Status Quo, and one of the things he said is that he goes into every game expecting to win. You have to have that confidence. You have to have that mentality. It doesn't matter who you're in the lobby with. You got to go in there and expect that you're the best and that you're going to win this game. And right now, Avengers, they have to have that mentality going into this next hill. We talk about that bottom center hill being very difficult. I mean, this next hill is imperative for them so that they can potentially not be stuck in that situation on bottom center where OpTic is just going to slay them out.
Shots coming in for the Stalker rifle here for Huss. He has a very important responsibility of making sure that nobody gets over towards this purple side, at least not leaving one shot. Can't quite find the kill, but hopefully his teammates can push up and clean them up. Lucid ends up going down. Neuronical able to take down Trippy, but 2 members of OpTic are able to leak through over towards the arcade side. That's going to force Avengers right out. Precision doing a great job of staying alive. Now he's about to get right back into the action. Huss taking down APG. Avengers are not out of this just yet, but Trippy does have a rocket. Yo, what?
Oh, that's a blunder right there. He ends up using one of the rockets, but thankfully Lucid gets the other one. They're not able to utilize either rocket here, and actually that's a really good thing for Avengers. They're 85% complete on this hill. They get this hill, they can be in a good position, but unfortunately OpTic now have them forced on spawned on purple, so they've got to make another push here, and they've got to get that very first pick.
I'm sorry, I'm still I'm still baffled at how Trippy didn't hit that rocket. Like it was like it was, you know, it's like my man Tony Stark once said, you know, you may have a rockets, but we have a Huss, and Huss able to take down Trippy with the rockets without them going down. And because of that, Avengers should be able to take hill number 3, now going kind of into a desperation hill number 4 here, because oftentimes when that hill hits the middle and you're down 1-3, the enemy team will play Slayer on you and will just play the clock.
Yeah, that first hill for Avengers was the momentum they needed here. They got to play this slow. They got to make sure that you see OpTic already pushing on that B street. They're going for a little bit of an unorthodox push while they send APG and Formal on the purple side. A 2-2 push is going to unfortunately put Avengers in a sandwich position, and because of that, 3 go down.
Lucid and Trippy right over toward the hill. Trippy making sure nobody's going over towards the flank. It looks like Lucid gonna take that spot over toward the top A. And now that the A sides are being blocked, it looks like Avengers are pushing up over toward the C. The Shroud not gonna be enough to stop Avengers from breaking right through. Huss takes down Lucid. Precision trades out his life as well. 2 down for each of the teams, so the next kills are so important. Formal goes down. Looks like APG might be up next. He's being chased, and that's it. All 4 of OpTic end up going down. Avengers have an opportunity to steal hill number 4 away.
Yeah, this is really interesting, right? Because like we talked about, they were down 2-0. I mean, very, very scary situation here for Avengers, but the mental is strong, it seems. They're about to get this next hill. They just got to make sure not to make any mistakes. Unfortunately, that's all 4 down. That's rockets in the hands of OpTic once again, and this is not good. Avengers have to play this very intelligently off a spawn here. They got to make sure to try and waste these rockets if they can.
Formal rockets in hand. Excellent shot onto Huss, even getting some damage onto Precision as well. Looks like Formal not going to let him escape. Lucid, the cross map shot is going to connect, and once again Avengers going 2 down. Without having those numbers, there's no shot that Avengers get back into this race. In fact, they're being kept and held down for the final seconds here as OpTic look to put the final progression on this hill, but Avengers coming out of nowhere. Formal ends up going down. 3 down go OpTic, and Avengers bounce right back at it, and with OpTic almost stealing this hill number 4 away, it looks like Avengers taking what's rightfully theirs. Lucid, the MVP, making MVP shot. Double melee gonna connect as he gets the double kill. Trippy and Formal coming right back at him. APG should be able to finish this one out. Avengers almost stealing that one right back from OpTic Gaming, but it's 3-1, 2 minutes and 40 on the clock.
That is why he is the MVP, or was the MVP, and will probably continue to be. That's a huge play there by Lucid to get that very low percentage double kill to secure that hill for OpTic Gaming. You saw them a little bit of a misplay before that, you know, not really being aware of spawns. They thought they had the spawns trapped on PD, but Avengers took advantage of it, but not able to close it out. And now we talked about this 3-1 situation that Avengers are now in. This bottom center hill, very difficult. It's going to take control of C, and you see Swish already has that.
Well, we do love the fact that Avengers were prioritizing going after that C side. They saw OpTic not only trying to finish off that purple side of the hill, but also trying to rotate for the strong side of the map. Avengers not going to let you have both, so we still see Swish with the Stalker rifle. This is going to be important for Avengers. That middle hill, like you said, is the hardest hill to capture in the game here of Halo Infinite. Swish finding out the hard way despite being one shot still. Ego challenging from across the map, and with that damage that he's able to create allows Huss to sneak on right through. He takes down 1. Precision takes down another. Half the members of OpTic hitting the black screen. The 3rd one will fall as well, and Avengers getting valuable time here along with the Spanker.
Yeah, the rockets are going to be a big pickup here, but unfortunately, as you can see, the very first one is going to be whiffed, and that's a big deal because that's 1 guaranteed kill that you don't get. Want to commend Swish as well, doing a great job of staying alive in bottom tram with that Stalker rifle, doing so much work. And as you can see, once again, the first rockets Avengers are able to get, and they don't connect on anything. They don't do any damage, and now 3 down are Avengers.
Minute 21 seconds on the clock here. Lucid actually taking up some hill time. Excellent shots. The bandit rifle from far range. Who needs a scope when you got shots like that, Tim? The BR may go burr, 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 but that bandit goes pop, pop, pop. I don't know how I was going with that.
Pop, pop, pop.
Tim, just talk. I don't know what's happening.
Love the bandit, man. I mean, very difficult to hit shots long range like that, but yeah. Pop, pop, pop goes Lucid, and the bandit gets a beautiful perfect there, but that hill, you can see, Avengers have a lot of work to do there with only a minute left. OpTic's going to continue to run down this time, and they'd be dumb not to, right? This is a perfect position that they're in with Lucid at the top of C with a Stalker in hand. Going to continue to get the damage out. This is very grim here for Avengers.
49 seconds on the clock here. OpTic continuing to get slay after slay. Avengers need to start entering desperation mode, and Precision desperately trying to get Lucid out of that bottom C side, but it's not gonna happen here. Shots coming in from the Stalker for down range. He's able to take down multiple players, even take Huss down to one shot himself. Huss gonna make his way over toward the spike side. Somehow able to get the win onto Lucid. Huss has been absolutely lasered all day today as he gets another double kill, taking down Formal, and because of that, Avengers get their butts right in towards the hill. OpTic Gaming end up going 3 down. Tim, this is not over just yet.
This is what you need right here. You need a player like Huss to pop off. That's exactly what he did. He got 4 consecutive kills, continues to control bottom tram, and now Avengers are trying to get this hill. But look, 20 seconds is all that is left. 2 down for OpTic, but they're still doing massive damage to try and keep Avengers out here. They're starting to get some time, that is Avengers, but they've got to get a couple more slays. They get the first one onto Trippy. Can they get a couple other is the question here. No, they don't.
Double kill.
And with that, 14 seconds left. Gonna take, what, 10 seconds for them to come off a spawn and get into the fight. Might be just as close to mathematically impossible that you can be, and especially with Precision going down to one shot. The nade's not gonna be able to take down Trippy, as nobody is able to step in that hill. It looks like OpTic Gaming are taking game number 1. But Avengers, they put up one hell of a fight.
I mean, that was just beautiful by Huss at the very end of that game, and I thought that would have secured a little bit of time there, but OpTic played a very good bait and switch game towards the end. They were able to stay alive, and because of that, they're able to continue to roll down that time all the way to 0. But Tony, man, if you're Avengers, right, you've got to come into that with a little bit of confidence going into this game number 2, right? I mean, I feel like you're facing the best team in the world, period, and you almost get them to, you know, that tie 2-2 hill. With it looked good. I mean, I would go into this next game, brush the last one off, go into this next game with confidence because they put up a fight there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when OpTic Gaming went up 2-0, and especially with how dominant that hill number 2 was, that was an opportunity for Avengers to almost like mentally chalk. I feel like if that's my ranked teammates, they're already complaining and blaming each other at that point. You know, like that's it. Like the mental was gone. Yeah. But you know, they understood that. Look, they won a few fights. They won the power weapons. They got momentum. That C side of the hill was so hard to break. And they said the same thing. The moment we do the same thing to OpTic and that setup on this A side of the map, we can punish them just like they punished us. That's exactly what they did. They controlled that A side of the map masterfully. But then when coming over towards this cafe side, OpTic Gaming sent 2 people over towards back A. They only had 1 person covering the hill. Avengers broke through over toward the C side of the map and absolutely ate on them. They had to steal that hill away. They were like a millisecond away. That was their hill right there. So if I'm Avengers, I'm thinking, you know what? If we would have just got that last millisecond, tied up at 2 apiece, even if they don't take that mid hill, goes into overtime, it's a bit of a fight, they could have taken that game number 1. Avengers 100% were in that game, and they definitely should be confident going into the Slayer.
We will see if that's the case. Game number 2, Precision's gonna get the no, he's not! Formal with a beautiful snipe. The OS falls in the hands of Formal. That was the first overshield for Avengers. It could have been such a massive swing, but Formal with a clutch shot gonna take it away.
Formal saying, you know, you guys may be the Avengers now, but we were the original Avengers. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, Halo, well, I think it was a Halo 4 AGL, it was a Formal APG in the boys. I believe Hines was a part of it. They were the original Avengers. Yeah, I don't know about that though. Formal with the killing spree, sniper rifle out. The Avengers had to get him off of that tower side, and that's exactly what they do. But have they done enough? Because OpTic Gaming adding on to their lead and continuing to apply pressure.
Yeah, that tower control is so very vital. You're gonna see this repulsor used very often to get to the top side of it. You see the heat wave being utilized as well by Trippy, but you gotta make sure you provide value up there, and if there is no value being provided, will end up leaving that position. You see they have a nice strong hold here on the C side, but 17-9, make that 19-9. As Formal gets a beautiful snipe. That's a 9-kill lead now for OpTic to start this game number 2.
And with the overshield coming up in 12 seconds, Formal having a great line of sight on it. I want to see the rest of OpTic Gaming come out over to the C side and the A side. That's what they're so famous for. When attacking that overshield, they don't come from one side. They come at you from dummies, from sandbags. One will pop out through the key door. They come out of nowhere like a whack-a-mole to come at you when overshield is coming up. And now you see that presence over toward the A side of the map, but Formal ends up dying over toward the Charlie side. Trippy, the only player alive here, and Avengers able to weather the storm, win their gunfights. They put OpTic 3 down right as overshield comes up. Well earned by Precision and Avengers.
And again, when you look at this matchup, you automatically give it to OpTic, but this is what I'd love to see out of Avengers here. Constantly, they're in a position where their backs are up against the wall. They're in a position, a losing position, and they come back and make it happen. They weather the storm, like you just said, and that's what's incredible about this roster. And that's why, I mean, to me, I mean, this roster looks really good. Can they win this series? I mean, it's going to start with this game here, but they're starting to show a little bit of life, which is exactly what you need.
24-17 lead for OpTic Gaming here. Precision getting overwhelmed by Lucid and the game. That's going to be a double kill for Lucid. Switch coming in with the stray grenade. Huss now watching his back from afar. Beautiful flank coming in by Huss, but he still might be in a bit of a 1v2. Doesn't matter. The trusty sniper rifle body shot into the BR. Beautifully played by Huss. Tower side and sniper in the hands of Huss. And if they're going to come back from the 7-kill deficit, it might just be because of this 5-shot sniper rifle in the hands of Huss.
I mean, Huss is playing phenomenal. We saw him in that previous game. He continues to do so here. Unfortunately, though, they spot the problem and they take it out. And that's what OpTic does so very well, right? If there's a player starting to pop off on another roster, they really make sure to focus that player and take him off of positional advantage. And that's exactly what they do with Huss once again. And now Trippy with a snipe in hand.
Yeah, that's why whenever I'm on the team against OpTic, they always prioritize me. They make sure that I get as close to 1 or 2 kills in the map as possible. Yeah, but it's not because I'm bad. It's because they're prioritizing me.
That makes sense.
This ain't. I think they're playing man to man. They're playing zone on me, bro. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
What are you gonna do, right? I get prioritized in every matchmaking game. Then if that's the case, those darn matchmaking kids. 27-32. A big win by Swish right there. Again, 28-32 now, a 4-kill game. Avengers continue to make this possible, continue to put this within reach. And once again, it's individual plays like that. You see APG and Trippy are going to go down in the kill feed. Lucid does as well. And now a 2-kill game. Avengers looking to make this comeback.
Swish taking to the skies to try to avoid any grenades that might have been coming his way. He wave in hands as well, but now 3 members of OpTic Gaming are starting to gain free real estate. They're starting to push up and not be contested whatsoever. Lucid out the big door side. Excellent shots by him, but the bait and switch comes out for APG. Switch coming in, bringing in the heat, able to take him down. That's going to be a killing spree, but the rest of OpTic Gaming not going to allow that to happen. Still a 4-kill game. Formal and APG addressing the big door side. Trippy gets a huge kill onto Neuronical. Swish follows it up, but the numbers advantage still for OpTic Gaming. They can get aggressive through that.
Yeah, you can see Lucid there on that C flat side. You see the X, he ended up dying. He was trying to make sure to stagger those spawns on the C side because there was a player trapped in B. They had the pressure on the B player, so they tried to stagger the spawns on the C side. But that's the thing Avengers does so well, is again, they're up against the wall. They've got to make a play, and they do it. Unfortunately, though, 35-42, still down in this game thus far. We see Huss having an incredible game, but it's just trades that OpTic are going for at this point. That's all they need.
Yeah, the big stick by APG. Might have traded out his life there, but like you said, it's all they needed. So, sticks galore, but hold on. Veronica wins his gunfight. Huss won his against Lucid, and now Overshield coming up. That might be another OS in the hands of Avengers. Swish tries to grab it, not able to pull that back over towards his side. They're all of Avengers onto the A side, but OpTic are now pushing in. The green wall is starting to move, and now Lucid picks up that OS. As a sniper in hands, Avengers, you played well up until now, but it might be game over. Sniper rifle overshield just too much. That's gonna be the 50th kill. OpTic Gaming stands strong. go up 2-0.
Yeah, that's a very convincing 2-0 as well. I mean, like I said before, Avengers are able to put up a fight, but we're just talking different tiers here. I mean, OpTic are just playing really well, and the crazy part is they're not. I don't think that OpTic are even playing above 80% at the moment. I think that this is just, you know, another day in the office for OpTic. I think it's crazy. It's crazy to see like we talked about the staggered spawns, right? You know, going towards just having the awareness that those split spawns are happening on to see, acting so quickly on them. When you have a team that just acts quickly on advantages and even small advantages, there's really just not much you can do at that point. I mean, we had some good performances out of every player on Avengers, but it wasn't enough.
Just another day at the office, right? You know, OpTic clock in. You know, they're already 5 minutes late. Of course, you already know. They sit down at their desk, you know, go stretching. They act like they're about to run. Oh snap! I need a coffee. They get up, go grab themselves a bit of coffee, maybe use the restroom, whatnot. By the time they get any work done, 40 minutes have passed. But it's just another day at the office here for OpTic Gaming, making Avengers look like making them look like light work for the most part.
Right.
I feel like Avengers. I saw moments. You know, multiple overshields going in the hands of Avengers. That last one almost hit in their hands. You know, even that killing spree that Swish went on with that heat wave. Like, we saw moments, but it still almost felt like, okay, well, when, you know, in a few seconds, OpTic spawn up and they're gonna win their battles. I feel like OpTic are so confident right now, and Avengers, they gotta wake up to do or die here. Now the moments, that brilliance that we saw you guys put together, you got to put an entire game together. Easier said than done, but that's why I chose casting. I'm not playing.
Right? That's why we're both sitting here. But yeah, this is a tough task. A tough task and a tough ask for Avengers. This is going to be one of those that, you know, you kind of chalk up at 3-0, but this is also, like you always say, Tony, this is the start of, you know, this is how you can reverse sweep, right? I mean, they have a chance, they have a chance here. It's just gonna be tough. Like you said, OpTic are just so quick to you know, just go on those disadvantages and be able to act so quickly on every single advantage that they have, and that's what makes them so good as a roster. You see the first camo going in the hands of Formal here to start this game, and looking to take advantage and push their push the blue base here, push the Avengers base, go for those 100% kills and potentially get that value as well.
It is a scientific fact. I've done the math, a hypothesis, I've tested it. It is a scientific fact that every reverse sweep starts with a game 3 win.
Wow.
That's what Avengers have to be thinking right now, but with members going down multiple times, that flag already moving. Formal already dressing the spawning players. Nobody on Avengers able to put any shots onto this flag carrier as it makes it through. APG already working on the return, and it looks like flag number 1 goes to OpTic Gaming, and without sacrificing any space whatsoever. Trippy's already up. APG's up on the 50% portion of the map as well, but Avengers, the same way that you can push up, you can get pushed down. So Avengers already attacking OpTic at every single point. Lucid was the final player alive, but not for long, as Avengers take back map control and look to counter that first cap.
And that's exactly right, Tony, right? They get 3 down, but this is the question. What does Avengers do with that 3 dead? You see, they're very pushed up on the map, but the wall of OpTic, the defensive wall is so strong. You see, none of them are going down yet. They're being pressured severely here and are still able to stay alive. Finally, 2 go down, and, you know, this might be the opportunity for that very first flag pull, but they've also got to take out Lucid, who's on their side.
Precision trying to dominate the top mid side of the map. Sadly, Lucid with that heat wave and that camouflage too much, but hold on, Neuronica and Swish have already advanced this flag quite a bit. In fact, Lucid goes in for the challenge onto Swish, and Swish, they call him Swish 5, they're like Swish 4s to me, even going after the MVP, and we have a stalemate on our hands, Trippy. Seeing that maybe the defenses of Avengers are a bit discombobulated, focusing on a little bit too much. He wants to take advantage. He wants to push right through in. As the slaves start to come in, he gets right up close and personal. That's going to be the melee kill onto Huss. The return is coming in. He's dodging nades left and right. He's just too smooth and Trippy. Just like that, OpTic capped yet another flag. Trippy finally goes down, but the damage clearly done. OpTic up 2-0.
And that's what impresses me so much, right? They went 3 down. That is OpTic. Of course, Avengers got control of their base, and then they started to get slays again on the respawn, but OpTic find a way to get over to Avengers side of the map and take the flag to make it a standoff, and then all they got to do is play OpTic's game. They sit there, they get the picks necessary, and then 2-0 is your answer here, the lead for OpTic, and just a beautiful second cap there for OpTic, and a third one as well when they put that one in. That was something. Tony, that is Lucid actually the Flash? Maybe we just didn't. Where did he come from?
That might be it. You know, we're crossing paths here. Marvel, DC, it doesn't even matter right now. Lucid making teleporters, looking like a Doctor Strange. I don't know what's happening right now, but I did not see that third flag cap get pulled and go in. But Avengers did see it. Looks like they want to once again try to counter it. Another flag pull gets all the way past the 50%. Formal tries to push up over toward the P side. He's going to be dealt with quickly. Huss with that heat wave, making sure there's nobody in sight to stop this from going in. Avengers on the board, still down by 2.
And that's it. You know, Avengers did that really well, right? They got the slays, and then they were able to slay while they pulled as well. They didn't do that the last time. They had the numbers advantage the entire flag pull. You see, they also have the control of the power weapons in that heat wave. They get one on the board. Precision gets the camo. See if he's able to make anything happen here. The spawns come out on the fridge side. They get a couple dead. Wait a minute, Tony, what's going on here?
That was a 4 down. OpTic are coming off the spawn, and the moment they spawn up over toward the fridge side, nades and reticles are trained on them. Avengers winning every single one of their individual gunfights, their team fights as well, and that's going to be back-to-back captures now coming in for Avengers. They're within 1. Avengers have woken up. They will refuse to go down easily here. Neurotic even able to take down Trippy. That's going to be big defense as they look to clear OpTic out of their base. Avengers doing their best green wall impression. They're trying to defend home base here.
We've seen this before. We've seen them come back before when they were down, but the question is, how do they close it? Are they going to be able to tie this up at 3? This is a must-win game, like we said. This will stop the 3-0 sweep. Avengers looking to make something happen here. Neurotical and a 1v1, and this is what you don't want to see, because APG and all of OpTic are going to win those ones. You got to have your teammate there with you to bait and switch, Tony.
Yeah, OpTic right back in the driver's seat. A lot of momentum going in favor of Avengers. Kill after kill. Everything starting to go their way. But once that first slate turned to 2, then end up turning into 3. Now OpTic not only have that map control, but now they're right back into their offense, looking to get a pull here. You have 2 members, APG and Formal, in your base, causing havoc. APG taking down Huss. Swish, love the fact they're able to isolate one player as he gets the easy shots onto the second one. Then the wrap back to finish off the second, while Avengers are able to clear out 2 out of their base. That should have been a flag run, at least to the bottom car side, but Swish kind of making things happen right there. I like that play.
Yeah, Switch making himself a difficult kill. You see, you know, you're always able to take routes. He's playing a little bit of you, Tony, putting 2 shots in, backing off, staying alive, then coming back to finish off a kill from a different angle. You see the slays are coming out for Avengers, but constantly OpTic is able to continuously trade here. And not only are they trading, but OpTic has full control of the 50% portion of the map, and that's what really makes this scary. Avengers are not able to push in freely.
Love the thought process by Huss right there. You try to push over towards the fridge. Just try to sit there, put down shots, stay alive, use that cover, and just be like a nuisance over toward the enemy base. Eventually, he gets hunted down, but Precision replaces him in the exact same spot and does what Huss was not able to do. Takes down 2 members and stays alive onto the fridge side. Does Precision, and Precision somehow even doubling back here and putting down even more damage. If OpTic don't get this flag cap, it's because of Precision. He's now taking down 3 members by himself and even put damage onto a 4th, and yeah, the return comes in. So everybody on Avengers making those individual plays, and once those individual plays start to turn to team plays, it's gonna get dangerous in here for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, Swish had a good play right there too. I mean, they got 3 down. Swish was already in their base, but OpTic were spawning on both sides of the map, and on utility and on fridge, and yeah, just had nowhere to go at that point. So that flag will not come out for Avengers, but you can see right off the bat here, APG once again, another double, and look at the top center of the map again. APG and OpTic always fighting for that top center control. All the while, a flag is being pulled, and consistently the ones are being won. 4-2 OpTic lead.
APG has an extremely underrated shot. Like, people know APG for putting in the dirty work. They know his objective play. They know his ability to stay alive. But as far as pure shots go and decision making through those shots, yeah, he's probably unmatched. You saw it right there. Killing spree being earned, even putting down the damage. Eventually, APG does end up going down here, but with 3 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock, Avengers have to break through not only the offense of OpTic Gaming, but the defense as well. Tim, is it possible?
I mean, anything is possible, and especially for this Avengers roster, like, they constantly show signs of life. They constantly show, you know, signs that they're, you know, playing really fundamental good Halo against OpTic, but they can't close it out. And consistently, OpTic is able to just flip that switch. You know, they're coming off their coffee break, like we talked about before, Tony, clocking back in, and they're just making things happen. 3 minutes left is all they got. Avengers, this looks all but over, but I don't want to count them out. I mean, like, we've seen some crazy plays by them. They have the potential to make something happen here. They've just got to catch OpTic off guard, and right now, it doesn't look like that's happening. OpTic are just playing defense.
Yeah, you saw Neurotic and Huss push up over toward the car side. Precision was all the way pushed up over toward the fridge side. You would like to see him, even instead of go down there, like to see him do enough damage to allow the rest of Avengers to push up, but it just doesn't happen. He ends up going down, so do multiple members of Avengers, and there's only one more player left, and Trippy's able to deal with him, and just like that, that's valuable time off the map here for Avengers to try to get, if not one cap, but 2 against OpTic Gaming.
Did you see Trippy there? He had to double take. Precision was hiding in the corner. Finally finds him. But again, yeah, I mean, look at this. It's just free at this point. Like, you can see, like, they're so confident, even with the spawns coming out from Avengers on the flag side. Trippy still finds the opening, knows he has top center presence, and pulls that flag anyway. And they're gonna continue. They want to close this out right now, Tony.
That they do. Early flagpole ends up turning into a great one as the kills go in favor of OpTic Gaming. I don't see anybody from Avengers in position to stop this flag. Everybody's forced to cross map here. Will that be enough? Swish is able to take down APG. The flag does sit over toward the mid, but it's only a matter of time for somebody pushes up, slides it in. There it is. It looks like OpTic Gaming gonna pull off the 3-0 sweep. Avengers not able to pull off the upset.
Yeah, they just, I mean, OpTic just does such a good job of making you react to what they do. I think that's what they're like. I think that's what they're the best at. I think that's one of the big reasons that they're the best team in the world is there's no you making the calls. There's no like you making the plays. It's you having to react off of what OpTic does first. And that to me shows why they're one of the best teams in the league. I mean, constantly in that game, you saw it in that flag run at the very end. You know, they force the spawns on back flag. Trippy still goes in for the flagpole, even with 3 players being at the back of the base, because he knows that they're gonna get the slays. He knows they have presence on top center, top car, and top P, and he can just pull that freely. He'll have the crossfire. He trusts his teammates. Chemistry is just invaluable, and on this OpTic roster, it is immense.
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not surprised that OpTic 3-0'd, you know, their OpTic game, let's be honest. However, the history books won't reflect it, but, you know, they're gonna say 3-0 and like, okay, well, they're, you know, OpTic were dominant. But I do want to point out some pluses from Avengers, you know. In that, for example, in that game number 1, we saw Avengers literally a split second away from taking that second hill and then forcing the 2-2 split when it goes into that middle hill. Then from there, anything can happen. Like that split second worth of timing could have went in their favor. We're talking about just one melee, one individual battle could have won them that hill, and then who knows what would have happened there. And then even in that Slayer, it was so close. You know, I mean, the fact that OpTic gave up what 2, almost 3 overshields. Only a 10-kill game. I'm telling you, what if Swish was able to pull that overshield to the side instead of losing getting that crazy headshot to take him out and then stealing it? What happens then? Avengers put the 50 on the board. Now is it a 1-1 tie going into that game number 3? So I will say Avengers obviously lost that. I'm not going to take anything away from OpTic Gaming, but I do want to say that Avengers have shown that they're competent, and no matter who they're up against, whether it's OpTic, whether it's FaZe, whether it's SSG or Status Quo, it doesn't matter. Whoever they're up against, they know that they can win, and they're looking good in these matches.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, it just seems like, you know, like I said, they showed life You know, they were down 3-0 in caps on that Aquarius flag. They brought it back to 3-2. There's life being shown there. But to be honest with you, Tony, if I can be blatantly honest here, I think that OpTic just have different levels as to which they play. I mean, I just think, you know, if there comes a point where the game starts getting a little too close, all of a sudden everyone wakes up. They're able to. I'm not saying they're not trying in the entirety of the game. I'm more so saying that there's different levels to how they're playing, and you know, OpTic can step it up when they need to. That's what makes them one of the best.